Section 1, The Whispering Mountain, an enduring enigma. Have we been lied to about our own past? Not through malice perhaps, but through the quiet omission of inconvenient truths. What if a tangible remnant of a forgotten chapter of human history, a structure of impossible scale, from a time before recorded time, has been hiding in plain sight? What if a cataclysm that reset civilization, an event dismissed as myth, lies frozen in time, waiting for us to find the courage to look? For centuries, whispers have emanated from a colossal, snow-shrouded volcano in eastern Turkey. These are not just the whispers of the wind, but of local legends, of shepherds, and of daring explorers who claim to have seen the impossible. This is Mount Ararat, a place of profound spiritual significance and deep, unsettling mystery. A dormant giant straddling a volatile border, its slopes have been a silent witness to the rise and fall of empires. It is a landmark that looms not just over the landscape, but over our collective memory, an anchor point for our oldest and most profound stories of destruction and survival. Now, the question is no longer just a matter of faith. It has become one of exploration and evidence. Modern technology, from satellite imagery to ground-penetrating radar, is being aimed at its icy shield. Are we ready to confront what this mountain might be hiding? A secret so fundamental, it could rewrite the story we tell about ourselves, a secret that could finally be revealed as the glaciers continue their slow, inexorable retreat. This is not scripture versus science. It is a complex, intriguing puzzle, where ancient texts and modern anomalies point to the same chilling possibility. We will investigate the forgotten expeditions, the suppressed evidence, and the persistent, first-hand accounts of the impossible. We will piece together the fragments of a story that powerful forces have for generations preferred to keep buried. The mountain is speaking through the ice, through the rock, and through the echoes of history. We must now learn how to listen. Section 2, Echoes of a Lost World, Ararat and the Great Deluge. The memory of a world-drowning flood is a story that echoes across countless civilizations and millennia. It is one of humanity's most persistent and powerful narratives, a shared trauma etched into our collective consciousness. From the Fertile Crescent to the Andes, cultures separated by vast oceans and thousands of years tell a strikingly similar tale. The most familiar version comes from the Book of Genesis, which speaks of Noah, a righteous man in a wicked world. He was commanded to build a massive ark, a vessel of specific and colossal dimensions, to save his family and pairs of every living creature from a cataclysmic deluge sent to cleanse the earth. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rains fell, and the fountains of the great deep burst forth, until every high hill was covered. After the waters finally receded, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. But this is far from the only account. The far older epic of Gilgamesh from ancient Mesopotamia tells of Utnapishtim, who, warned by a god, builds a great boat to survive a divine deluge that rages for 7 days. Ancient Greece had the myth of Deucalion and Pyrrha, who survived a flood in a wooden chest. Hindu scriptures speak of Manu, who is saved from a world-ending flood by the god Vishnu in the form of a fish. The pattern is undeniable, repeated across the world. A divine warning, a global catastrophe, a handful of chosen survivors, and a vessel of salvation. Could these be independent fictions, or are they fractured memories of a single, real event? Of all the potential resting places mentioned in these tales, one name stands out: Ararat. This dormant volcanic massif rises solitary and majestic from the plains, a colossal landmark visible for 100 miles. For centuries it has drawn pilgrims and explorers, fueled by tantalizing accounts. The first-century historian Josephus recorded local traditions of ark remnants, noting that people would take pieces of the bitumen-coated wood as talismans. Over time, Ararat became more than a mountain. It became a symbol of renewal, a sacred bridge to a world before our recorded histories began. A place where myth and geology collide. For many, the search for the Ark is not about proving a single, religious text. It is about recovering a lost link in the human story, a tangible connection to our most ancient ancestors. The quest is to find physical evidence for a story that has haunted humanity for millennia, to grasp our planet's true, perhaps terrifying past, and to understand our own place within it. Section 3, The Searchers, a century of pilgrimage and peril. As the 20th century dawned, the whispers from Ararat's slopes began to echo across the globe. What was once a local legend, passed down through generations, was about to transform into an international obsession. The age of exploration was giving way to an age of verification, where faith sought tangible proof, and the greatest of all biblical relics seemed tantalizingly within reach. Simple journeys of pilgrimage evolved into meticulously planned expeditions. These were missions driven by a potent mix: the unshakable faith of the devout, the thrill of adventure for the daring, and the pure, scientific drive for discovery. One of the first electrifying accounts came from the skies. In 1916, during a World War I reconnaissance flight, Russian airman Vladimir Roskovitsky reported a startling sight: a ship-like form, half submerged in a frozen lake near Ararat's summit. A ground party was allegedly dispatched by the Tsar himself, but any evidence they gathered, any photographs or measurements, were tragically lost amid the fires of the Russian Revolution. The story became another tantalizing piece of the puzzle. Decades later, in 1955, French industrialist Fernand Navarre brought the legend back into the headlines. He claimed to have retrieved an ancient-looking timber from deep within the ice. He said it came from a much larger embedded beam, sparking global excitement and intense debate. Was this physical proof? But the search was never simple. Ararat straddled a tense frontier, a heavily militarized zone on the border of Turkey and the Soviet Union. Access was perilous, requiring permits, escorts, and navigating a landscape of political suspicion. Yet, the allure was irresistible. In the 1980s, Apollo 15 astronaut James Irwin, who had walked on the moon, led multiple expeditions to the mountain. He famously declared that discovering Noah's Ark would be a greater accomplishment. Irwin's high-profile searches, though ultimately unsuccessful in locating the Ark, kept the mystery ablaze for a new generation. From pilot to industrialist to astronaut, each seeker added a new chapter to the saga, passing the torch of belief and curiosity. The dream endured, inspiring new adventurers to face the mountain's challenge, again and again. The evidence is a mosaic of clues, from provocative images to contested artifacts. Foremost is the Ararat anomaly in military and satellite imagery, a stubborn shape near the summit, seemingly at odds with the geology. Ground shots show lines read as upright timbers of a hulking hull. Angular forms suggest man-made construction amid chaos, individually weak, collectively suggestive, something unusual in the ice. Navarre's 1955 timber was radiocarbon tested, with inconsistent results. In the 2000s, NAMI showed videos of wooden rooms with mortise and tenon joints. Critics called the anomaly a rock and shadow trick. Photos, geology at play. Allegations claimed a modern fake with trucked-in wood, charges NAMI denied. Every clue seems close to proof, yet always shy of universal acceptance. Beyond photos and wood lies the testimony of eyewitnesses. Georgi Hagalpian described as a boy, climbing upon a colossal ship in ice. He spoke of stone-like timbers, a caved roof, a vast interior. Local legends tell of a dark rectangular object revealed in low ice years. A Navy pilot saw a large rectangle in a glacial bowl. Ed Davis in 1943 claimed a massive broken structure with cages inside. These narratives are visceral, filled with awe and fear. Skeptics cite fallible memory, yet to dismiss all as fantasy strains credulity. Dozens of similar stories, another piece in a puzzle that resists fitting. That's worth remembering. Under the cold scrutiny of science, claims begin to falter. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. A find this big needs meticulous, documented context. A plank or a fuzzy frame is not enough. Navarre's timber dated roughly 1,300–1,400 years old. Medieval. Perhaps a shrine or shelter, not an antediluvian vessel. NAMI samples dated only centuries old, suggesting recent origin. Dr. Paul Zemansky notes geology can mimic man-made forms. Ararat is a rock crusher. Glaciers move, grind, and erase. The consensus: no credible, verifiable evidence of Noah's Ark on Ararat. Before extraordinary conclusions, exhaust ordinary possibilities. Cooling basalt fractures into long, straight columns. Erosion and melt make them look like rows of upright posts. Frost wedging breaks surprisingly regular blocks. Glaciers arrange rocks into lines, deceptive by design. Crevasses and seracs throw ship-like silhouettes. Our brains see order in chaos, especially what we hope to find. Expectation can turn lichen into a window, a shadow into a deck beam. Light, snow, and stone collaborate to conjure a phantom ship. Most likely, we are seeing nature's magnificent misleading hand, not an ancient hull. Humanity has left traces on Ararat for centuries. Shelters, corrals, shrines, pilgrims and monks marked the mountain. Medieval timbers align with monastic activity. The strategic border brought outposts, camps, and debris. Modern detritus can masquerade as ancient relics. The allure of fame and funding invites hoaxes. An associate alleged a staged ark built with trucked lumber, charges denied. Artifact or monastery, ark or listening post, vessel or fabrication. The fog of history and modern clutter deepens uncertainty. Untangling these threads is monumental, and any true find lies hidden beneath ice and time. So, what is the ultimate truth lurking on Mount Ararat? Weigh the testimonies, the photographs, the analyses, the explanations. The sensational secret remains unrevealed. The chain of proof is broken. No single photo, no accepted artifact, no definitive excavation. Yet, dismissing it all as delusion is unwarranted certainty. Converging, if weak, strands together remain intriguing. Perhaps orthodoxy is overlooking a reality beyond current models. Ice, rock, and controversy guard the mountain's secrets. It is probable many sightings are misread geology or modern debris, but it remains possible a genuine ancient unknown lies entombed, and some glimpsed it. The search mirrors our bond with faith and the unknown.